What is popping, and welcome back to another film review. Today we're taking a look at Happy Death Day, and this is a movie which came out quite a while ago that I just never got around to watching, and with my birthday coming up, and with it being Halloween, obviously not the time of this video uploading, I was just quite excited, and I wanted to, I wanted to get in a little bit of the spirit here and do a film review on Happy Death Day. The concept of this movie is actually really good, with a girl being stuck in a time loop and trying to figure out who is killing her. I think that's an incredible concept. I just don't think it's executed very well. And if you want to hear, obviously why I think this, stay to the end of the video, because I'm about to get into it. Just let me explain the story and what Google has to say about Happy Death Day first. So without any further delay, let's head over to what Google has to say. So Happy Death Day is a 2017 horror mystery movie, which is an hour and 36 minutes. It's a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 4.5 out of 5 on Amazon. You can watch this on Google Play, Amazon Prime, and a couple of other places as well. College student Teresa Gelbman continues to relive the day when she was killed to discover the identity of her murder. So how the story actually goes is she wakes up in this guy's room because she slept with him the night before. She goes back to her college dorm and she gets given a cupcake. She gets interrogated by two of her roommates, and then she runs off to lessons. She then tries to fuck her teacher. She goes to a meeting at lunch, and then she goes to a party at night. She gets ready, and someone stalks her and kills her in the street. She wakes up back in the same day, in the same dorm. She goes back through all of her day, but this time she doesn't leave her house. She stays asleep, and they actually break into her house and kill her there. She goes through the entire day again, but actually goes to the party this time and gets killed in someone else's room. She then goes through the entire day again, but naked, and dies. She goes through the entire day again, trying to work out who the killer is, and who it could possibly be, dying. She wakes up another time, but this time passes out and she wakes up in hospital, and it's like, oh shit, you shouldn't be alive, you have sustained so many injuries. And then she gets attacked in the hospital and dies. She wakes up again, and she's like, holy shit, your plan is shit, I can't keep doing this, I don't have that many lives left, because each time I die, it's having a physical effect on my body. Which isn't really explained, that's all the explanation we have for that, but anyway, we digress, we continue. So, she goes in and kills the murderer, but she doesn't. She works out who's trying to kill her, but obviously someone, her boyfriend, jumps in the way and saves her, and she's like, oh fuck no, I can't kill him now, I have to restart the day so he can come back. So she kills herself, and then she goes through the day doing everything fucking perfectly this time to make sure that it's all right and that she can move on with her life, having sort of a new found meaning of life. She kills the guy, she goes to bed, she's happy, she's satisfied, she eats a cupcake and dies. She wakes up back in the same day, and she works out that it's her best friend or her roommate that is actually trying to kill her for stealing a boyfriend. She kills that girl and then continues the rest of her day as normal. And that's where the movie ends. Honestly, the twists and turns this movie does take is really cool. I think the concept of reliving the same day over and over and over again is really cool, and it sort of spoon feeds it to you in such a way that it makes you feel as a viewer like they don't think you'll fully understand it. They make it so easy to digest, they are basically giving you all the information you need in a fucking spoon matter. There is fucking, they give it to you in such a demeaning and basic way that makes you feel stupid Like, they make you feel stupid in the way that they're explaining it, the way that they're doing it, because it starts off with showing you a load of iconic moments. It shows you a load of key moments back to back to back to start off the day, to obviously showcase throughout the other times, to be staple as every, like, day, every time you come back. Every time she restarts, it's like, oh shit, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. It's all iconic things that happen that stick in your head, so you know that it's a time loop and that you know shit happens over and over and over again. But seeing that shit over and over and over again gets boring. She doesn't really do much with her day that's different. She kind of just does the same shit every day, trying to figure out who it is, following every single person that it could be, because she actually realizes she's a little bit of a bitch. She's a little bit of an asshole. No one really likes her. So she has a lot of people on her hit list. So she's following quite a few people around, trying to work out who it is. And it gets boring after a while. And when you finally think it's getting good, when she finds out the killer, it throws the twist at you like, oh, she has to restart this day, or this guy's going to be dead forever. Someone who she's grown to quite like over the course of these relived days. So she kills herself and goes back, does everything right, everything perfect, sets up for a really nice conclusion, but she wakes up again. And when she wakes up again in the same day, I really do feel like it completely ruins the ending, completely ruins the story, because the new killer has a really shit motive. It makes sense, and it's all put together, but her motive is really shit. She slept with her boyfriend, so she deserves to die. That is a really fucking shit reason to kill someone. That is a really pathetic reason to kill someone, and I don't know, she just doesn't seem like the type of person to kill someone. Like, she doesn't seem like that type of person. She seemed really nice, but for whatever reason, the story was like, oh no, let's make her the killer. It did catch you off guard, it did give you a pretty big shock factor, but I felt like it was so unnecessary. We had a killer, we had a motive, we have stuff that's already set up to give that satisfying conclusion, but you overrid the satisfying conclusion to give another villain on top, which was working the strings behind the scene. They tried to do a Scream with like a double villain type thing, and I don't think it worked. It definitely took away from the main sort of villain, and it took away from the main story, and made it really shit as well, because the character that was actually the one in charge pulling the strings was barely in the fucking movie, so it didn't feel rewarding to guess who the killer was, or to sort of understand that it was her, because she was barely in it, she was barely there. It was like a Scooby-Doo type situation where it's literally the first person that you see, it's the first person that she meets in the day is who the main villain is. And I think that's shit, because you do see this masked killer this killer escaping from prison in quite a few of the backgrounds of her day. You see it in the TVs playing as like a background thing. Like, you see it in the background, so it's basically giving you the key details you need to set up this main villain, but it overrides it in this sort of puppet mastery way. And again, I don't like it. The deaths are quite creative. Her confidence and how she changes as a character is really nice. Seeing that character change, that character arc of her growing to realize she's a bitch and changing her ways towards the end and fixing it and having a good life, for it to all just be rewritten again. It feels annoying for the character, it feels annoying for you, because you think you're getting a satisfying conclusion, a satisfying end, for it all to just be taken away and pulled away under the rug from you. And she doesn't get that satisfying end in the end. She doesn't go through all this again. She doesn't sort of give all this positive energy to everyone that she went past again. She doesn't do it all. She doesn't get that sort of positive reaction to everybody. She doesn't go see her father. She doesn't do this. She doesn't do that. She doesn't, like, talk to the Greenpeace person. She doesn't tell this guy that it's alright being gay. It's just pointless. Like, all that good that she did in that one bit was just taken away and pulled out from underneath us, and gave us a pretty mediocre ending from what could have been a absolutely brilliant ending. And some of the time loops did get boring because it was the same shit over and over and over again, and her explaining herself over and over and over again. And I do think that these movies can be quite cool, can be quite interesting and creative if it's written and done in a creative way where you have something different happening on that day every time. If you're just doing the same shit over and over and over and over again, it gets boring, it gets repetitive, it gets basic, and people get bored and will tune out and stop watching. So for that reason, I cannot give it any more than a 5 out of 10, because this is a pretty mid movie, but I'll be watching the second one at some point, so do expect that over the next couple of days. But I'll see you all next one. Hope you'll have an excellent day, and